In the heart of West Africa, a mighty empire known as the Songhai Empire, or Songhai, emerged in the 15th century. It was a vast realm, encompassing the lands of modern-day southern Mauritania and Mali. The Songhai Empire would replace the once dominant Mali Empire, which had long stood as a powerful state in the region. The story of the Songhai Empire began centuries earlier, around the year 1000, as a smaller kingdom nestled along the eastern banks of the Niger River. However, it was during the reign of King Sonni Ali, who ruled from 1464 to 1492, that the Songhai Empire would embark on a path of expansion that would redefine the political landscape of West Africa. Gao, a vibrant city along the Niger River, became the bustling capital of the Songhai Empire, with shrewd strategies and a firm grip on trans-Saharan trade routes, especially through prominent centers like Timbuktu and Djenné. The Songhai Empire thrived throughout the 16th century. Wealth and influence flowed as the empire's might grew. The Songhai Empire's ascent coincided with the decline of the once mighty Mali Empire. Mali, which had long dominated the region and profited from its control of both local and international trade, found itself in a state of turmoil by the 1460s. Civil wars tore at its fabric, rival trade routes emerged, and attacks came from different quarters. The nomadic Tuareg people from the southern Sahara posed a threat, as did the Mossi people, who controlled lands south of the Niger River. However, the greatest challenge to Mali's supremacy came from the resurgent Songhai Empire, an ancient kingdom now more formidable than ever. As the Songhai Empire grew in power, Mali clung to a fragment of its once vast territories. It was a shadow of its former self, teetering on the edge of oblivion. The final blow came in the 17th century when the Moroccan Empire launched an attack. The Songhai Empire, torn apart by civil wars, was unable to defend itself effectively. The Moroccans ultimately absorbed the Songhai Empire, bringing an end to its glorious reign in West Africa. Where the Niger River flowed majestically, lay the land of the Songhai, a people of Nilo-Saharan descent who inhabited the region. Their kingdom, Songhai, had roots stretching back to the 9th century. While they had been subjugated by the Mali Empire, the Songhai's dominance in river transport on the Niger River made them a formidable force in the region. The Songhai kings had a long history of launching small raids on the urban centers of the Mali Empire, but a significant shift occurred in the early 15th century. King Sonni Ali, also known as Sonni Ali, ascended to the throne in 1468 and changed the game. He shifted from sporadic raids to a sustained campaign of territorial expansion. Sonni Ali was a ruler of vision and ambition. He built a powerful army, featuring armored cavalry and North Africa's only naval fleet, which he deployed on the Niger River. With this formidable force, he embarked on a campaign of expansion, conquering what remained of the Mali Empire. By 1469, the Songhai had seized control of Timbuktu, a crucial trade port on the Niger River. In 1471, they turned their attention to the Mossi territories south of the Niger River bend. By 1473, Djenné, another major trade center on the Niger, had also fallen under their sway. While Sonni Ali expanded his empire, he faced a significant challenge. His new territories did not provide access to the gold fields of the southern coast of West Africa, which had enriched Ghana and Mali rulers. The reason was a game-changer. Portuguese navigators, sponsored by Lisbon merchant Fernão Gomes, had circumnavigated Africa's Atlantic coast in 1471, establishing a trading presence near these goldfields in modern Ghana. This maritime route to the Mediterranean shook the foundations of trans-Saharan trade, as now there was a competing and more efficient way to transport goods to North Africa and Europe. The Songhai Empire managed to monopolize the Saharan caravan trade, which exchanged rock salt, fine cloth, glassware, sugar, and horses for gold, ivory, spices, cola nuts, hides, and even slaves. Timbuktu, with its thriving population of around 100,000 in the mid-15th century, continued to serve as a vibrant trade port and a center of learning deep into the 16th and 17th centuries. The Songhai government differed from the more federal arrangements of the earlier Ghana and Mali empires, as it was far more centralized. The king held absolute power, but the Songhai rulers often faced challenges to their authority. Of the 9 rulers in Songhai Empire's history, 6 were either deposed in rebellions or met violent ends, often at the hands of their own kin. The empire featured an imperial council of senior officials, including the finance minister, admiral of the Songhai fleet, head of the army, and minister of agriculture. Local officials had specific duties related to policing, trade regulation, craft guilds, and tribal groups. One individual no one could evade, though, was the local tax collector, who gathered goods to finance the army, court, and provide for the poor. The Songhai Empire's government was a complex and centralized structure, with power flowing from the king down to local communities. The Songhai Empire reached the zenith of its power under the rule of King Muhammad I. He was a remarkable leader who reigned from 1494 to 1528 and initiated a golden era for the Songhai people. Here's the story of his reign and the empire he forged. King Muhammad I's ascent to the throne was remarkable. A former commander in the Songhai army, he overthrew Sonni Ali's son, Sonni Barrow, to claim the kingship. Under his rule, the Songhai Empire transformed dramatically. King Muhammad I was the first to establish a fully professional army, marking a significant turning point for the empire. He went on to oversee the most extensive territorial expansion in Songhai history, earning him a place of honor among the empire's greatest leaders, second only to Sonni Ali. The loss of control over a portion of West Africa's gold trade to the Portuguese weighed heavily on King Muhammad I. This loss may have influenced his decision to expand the Songhai Empire's interests to the southeast. In an ambitious campaign, the Songhai forces, led by Muhammad I, attacked three major cities in Hausaland, a region located between the Niger River and Lake Chad. These cities were Goba, Katsina, and Zaria. Even the fourth major city, Kano, was compelled to pay a substantial tribute to the Songhai king. Under King Muhammad I, the capital at Gao thrived, boasting a population of approximately 100,000 inhabitants. The empire stretched from the Senegal River in the west to central Mali in the east. Moreover, it encompassed the valuable salt mines of Tagaza in the north. The Songhai Empire now dominated the entire Niger River, West Africa's principal trade route, and its population consisted of various ethnic groups, including the Mand, Fulbe, Mossi, and Tuareg. Religion played an interesting role in the Songhai Empire. While Islam had been long established in previous empires of the Sudan region, its position in the Songhai Empire was somewhat tenuous at first. Sonni Ali, the empire's prior ruler, used Islamic practices, such as observing the Ramadan fast, for political reasons rather than out of religious devotion. In fact, he also supported traditional practices, like sacrificing animals to trees, and persecuted Muslims who posed a political threat. In contrast, King Muhammad I converted to Islam and even made the pilgrimage to Mecca, where he was honored with the title of the Caliph of the Sudan. Muhammad took significant steps to strengthen Islam's presence in the empire. He implemented Islamic law, appointed qadis, Islamic judges, in key cities, and sought the advice of North African Islamic scholars. This move contributed to the rise of an Islamic urban elite, which included wealthy merchants and religious scholars. These scholars produced works on various subjects, from science to history, becoming an integral part of the Islamic reform movement in the region. However, it's important to note that Islam remained predominantly urban, with many rural communities adhering to traditional animist beliefs. In this belief system, spirits were thought to inhabit various natural features, such as trees, caves, and even the Niger River. Notably, the spirits of Harak Diko and Dongo were revered, connected to the river and thunderstorms, essential elements in the lives of the Songhai people. The Songhai Empire's faith was a blend of Islam and animism, and it continued to shape the lives of its diverse population. Despite the grandeur of King Muhammad I's reign, the Songhai Empire started to unravel during the latter part of the 16th century. Ineffectual leaders and a series of civil wars, dating back to King Muhammad's death in 1528, weakened the empire's foundations. In particular, the rivalry between Muhammad IV Bano and his brothers divided the empire. The final blow came swiftly when Moroccan leader Ahmad al-Mansur al-Wahhabi, known as the Golden Conqueror, dispatched a small but technologically superior force armed with muskets to attack the Songhai Empire in 1590 to 1591. The Songhai army, while larger, relied on traditional weapons like spears and arrows. Consequently, the Moroccans triumphed, seizing the Songhai treasury and incorporating the empire, including the illustrious city of Timbuktu, into their own. The Songhai Empire, West Africa's largest ever, disintegrated from within and faded into history. It marked the end of a remarkable era of great empires that had ruled West Africa since the 6th century. It marked the end of a remarkable era of great empires that had ruled West Africa since the 6th century.